As for President Biden, he is preparing to leave the White House momentarily as he begins his trip to Israel. While the president has been strongly in support of Israel's actions, he's also been emphasizing the needs of the Palestinian people in some of his recent comments. Hello to you all once again. Robert, I think, brilliantly sort of laid out where we are. This is feels like a consequential moment. And Max, there's a lot at stake here for the commander-in-chief flying to the Middle East, going to Israel at this point in time. What is at stake as you see it?
So first of all, it's incredibly courageous what the president is doing. For all intents and purposes, he is a human shield, not just for the Israeli people, but also for a reduction in the conflict while he is there. No one should take that lightly, what he is doing. But secondly, the president has walked a very fine line where no one doubts where he stands, boldly, resolutely in support of Israel, but also in hopes of reducing or eliminating the number of innocent Palestinians dying and seeing an end to this conflict, both in the short term as well as the long term. And him going there is just such a powerful statement of those values.
As you see it, what's at stake for the president?
He's got to go. I mean, I think some of the most memorable remarks he's ever made have been his comments in solidarity of Israel, and he should absolutely continue that all day, every day. And logistically, of course, there are considerations. It's very hard to move a president amidst a war, I would say. It's really important to emphasize Israel's at war. He needs to do this. The communication is important. Strategically, maybe he'll get some things that he wants. But for Israel, this is really important to see. And I'll just say very quickly, we are at a time where public opinion is shifting, right, especially among Democrats, to sympathies with Palestine. That is very frightening for some Israelis watching that happen in the United States. And so the fact that Biden is making a strong stance on this could not be more consequential. I applaud him for it.
Yeah, and credit where credit's due. I'm no fan of Joe Biden, as we know from this program, but he is doing a good thing by going to Israel. However, there's new Rasmussen polling. The New York Post reported it out October. 66% of voters believe that Israel has no choice but to seek the complete eradication of Hamas in Gaza. So I think he does stand to gain some approval by going to Israel and making another good speech like he did before.
It's so beyond politics, which I know we'd probably agree with.
And when you cite that poll, it goes to show, Kurt, there are going to be some really tough decisions that the commander-in-chief, it feels like, is going to have to make at some point here in the upcoming days and weeks.
Yeah, and I think this is why this is such an opportunity for the president to kind of step above the typical partisanship that we see. And I mean, we're seeing it right now unfold on the floor of the House of Representatives on some level, and he can elevate himself above that. This is an area where the powers of the presidency are very well defined. He doesn't need Congress to go be the president on the world stage and to show the rest of the world that this is what the adult in the room actually looks like. While there's chaos internally here amongst one of our branches of government, he can rise above that and showcase to the world that there is stability, that there is strategy, that there is going to be that sense of calm instead of chaos. And I think that this is an opportune moment for the president to be able to do that.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.